What's going on, guys? Today we are back at it again with more testing, and this time between vinyl and a bunch of color PPF, and we also have a control. And in our other tests, we had the durability test. 2, 3. In the middle as well. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We thought about this test and we're like, well, the stainless steel is already freaking durable, right? That's the whole exoskeleton part about the Cybertruck. So in this case, we're not doing a durability test, we are doing a cleaning test. So here's what we're gonna be doing. Right now we have, this is Avery Denizen Cyan White vinyl. This is just normal vinyl. And we got Evios colored PPF, and this is super cool. It's called Lake Blue, beautiful color. But one of the things why I chose them is because they had a lot of study around not staining, right? So that's like their big thing. Ultrafit hasn't been around too long, but they've been coming out with some really, really cool colors, so I really like them. And then we have Avery Denizen, this is gloss, and we use it for all our do-yourself kits as well. And then we have S-Tech, which has been industry movers. You know, there's been, GSWF, S-Tech, and a bunch of them, but they were one of the first ones to really, I think, move the industry forward with color PPF, and they've been doing the color PPF side for several years now, so I think we cannot discount them in this testing. And then, of course, right here we have the control, which is going to be the actual panel of the Cybertruck. Hopefully, I don't mess it up today, but we do this for science. We're gonna be first doing marshmallow, and we felt like the marshmallow is good. It's really sticky. It's actually quite hard to get off, okay, in cars. So we're gonna burn it, and then that will emulate kind of like a bird poop. We have, I'm pretty sure, expired honey. It's old. It's been here at the shop for years and years. It's just been festering for this scientific study that we're doing today. But what that kind of emulates is like tree sap, things that kind of etch. And actually in the manual of the Cybertruck, it says like if you have those things, you could stain, so you want to get rid of it as soon as you can. And then we also have Sharpie. It's called a permanent marker for a reason. And we're going to see how well it removes, or if it doesn't, or how easy. A lot of these are equipped with a hydrophobic property, and this are brand new rolls. So a lot of times it doesn't actually stick that well, or like the permanent marker doesn't really do much. Lastly, we're also going to be bringing the special sauce, the fingerprint. I'm like super dry, like the desert, so that won't really work. I guess that's a benefit for being dry, but we have some people here with very, very clammy hands, so that's perfect. And make sure you click on that subscribe button and watch to the end, because we have a special surprise at the end. We actually PPF this front panel a couple weeks ago, and I've been driving. I drove all the way to like Memphis, which is like 6 hours, and it is filthy. And we're gonna clean that as well. It has not been cleaned, so that's gonna be fun to see how well it cleans with the PPF on. So let's get started. Oh, that's crusty. Oh. No.
Oh my God.
I thought about it. Should we do it? We're gonna wrap it, right? We'll do it. Oh, that's there. We got this. This has been sitting for about 5 minutes now, and we're gonna go ahead and try to get every single thing off. What I'm using is going to be our waterless wash, which is like a quick detailer, and evenly kind of see how many strokes it takes. So let's go ahead and try to. So that's 1, that's 2, and really the third one it's out. I mean, you don't really see anything. I don't really see any residue. And go ahead and do 1. Typically, for waterless, you actually do want it to sit there, but I just don't want it to like fall down and kind of mess up my test. So, all right, yeah, this came out really easy as well, and absolutely no residue. That's nasty. It kind of looks like bird poop now. I'm just gently. I'm not even like going that hard, right? Make sure I don't touch that. That's one. I mean, really, like it's hard to like compare, but they're all coming off really easy. I'm, again, not putting a whole lot of effort or like force into getting this off. So that's very good news. They work very well. That's two. And then the third one, yeah, it's going to come off as well. There you go. Look at that. That's one. That's two. That's three. And there's really not an issue removing that. I mean, there's really no residue either. So bird poop's really not a big issue, but I think what happens is, one of the tests that I am going to admit that we're not doing is a lot of the etching tends to happen when you leave it for days and sometimes weeks. This test is more like ease of removal. So let's go ahead and do the second part, which is going to be the honey, and that came off pretty much in 2 swipes. Really, really easy. Same thing here, about the same. There you go. The third part, which is going to be a permanent marker, that's, I think, where it gets really interesting. And you can see already how the vinyl or the PPF tends to react with a Sharpie. So straight line, very, very solid. EVOS is the least amount. It's very, very subtle. Subtle, but not as subtle as this. This is pretty subtle as well. It almost like beads up. If you look at it closely, it beads up because it has that hydrophobic property built in. Same thing with this, very, very similar to EVOS. And then this one is a solid line. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to, do that. I don't think this is coming off. I'm going to try to do it harder. And you can see I'm starting to do this where it lightened up. It almost went a little bit bluer, right? But I'm scrubbing now a lot more aggressively than I have been. And I don't think this is coming off. However, it will be a different story. Like if this was ceramic coated, yeah, I think it'll come off. I'm going to go ahead and try this one. This looks like definitely a lot more force, but zero residue of this. And then try it with UltraFit. UltraFit definitely had a little bit more, but it did remove. But there is a small light stain. And if I'm being honest, there's a small, like, it's not really a stain, but there's like a little, I don't know, like a, not necessarily shadow, but this is definitely more apparent than EVOS. You got gloss PPF over here as well. That came off pretty good as well. Small residue. There is a very, very tiny remnant of it as well. It have been sitting around for the longest. And okay, so same thing with Avery Denizen. It does have a little bit of almost like a textured of where the Sharpie was, but you can see that they all removed pretty easily. Vinyl did not. And then I mean, all right, so it came off. I put way more force than I did for any of these 4 though, just to kind of give you guys an idea. There's actually still a slight, like a residue right there. Can you get your fingerprints? All right, I accidentally got rid of the fingerprints. I think if I did a little bit more like barkeepers, it would come off. But immediately, like if you were just getting like a little, maybe like Windex or a waterless quick detailer, it won't come out right away. So just keep that in mind. And note that I really had to really push on it to even get anything off. So hopefully you guys can see there actually is some fingerprint right here. Vinyl is actually really easy to clean as well. So once I use some quick detailer, boom, fingerprints are gone. You can see a little bit of smudges from the fingerprint from us. And look at that, super easy. Same thing with Ultra Fit. Very, very easy. All the fingerprints go away. Same thing, really just 1-2 buff. And then S-Tech also does a phenomenal job of keeping clean. You got massive fingerprint right here. And I was able to get it off, but there's definitely a lot more to it than this, right? Like, it leaves all this residue and it almost doesn't feel like it's even. So typically what you want to do, like every now and then, if you want to even it out, you want to use like bar keepers, polish it, and then use Windex and then to wipe it down to kind of even it out so that all the colors of the steel is exactly the same. That's a lot of work. Like even like me just doing this, immediately. And if you look around the film, like all this, like just from either overspray or maybe just some water, like this is kind of what it'll look like on a normal basis, right? So I think it's incredibly hard to keep clean. You're just gonna be buffing the car all day. So it's gonna be very, very tempting, I think, for most Cybertruck owners to just wrap it in one of these films, either with color vinyl or just any sort of PPF, because it's just gonna make it way easier to clean. So I think after doing this quick cleaning test, all the films did really well. I am very impressed by Evios, Avery Dennison, really all of them. So that being said, enough talking, let's go ahead and open this up. And what we're gonna be just doing, let's just douse it with some quick detailer. Look at that yellow gut right there, love it. And just get to the front part of it and just see how easy or hard it is to clean this thing. This is actually the matte PPF from Avery Dennison. Let's just see. Oh yeah. So that's just one take. Look at that. And just to give you an idea, this was caked in for what, a week at least? 2 weeks maybe? I know. I should wash my car a little bit more, but for science. All right, so second pass, I want to put a little bit more effort into it. And that's the thing too, right? Like with the PPF, you could be a little bit more rough too. Washing this is just so much easier. Obviously can spend a little bit more time on it, but where it was completely dirtied up by the Memphis bugs, it is completely clean in less than 3 minutes. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of why people are doing color PPF and vinyl. Really, it's not necessary to protect this exoskeleton that's already, bulletproof and all that, but it really, I think, is about keeping it clean a lot easier and saving time in the long run. And in that way, protecting your investment or your Cybertruck. That was a lot of fun for us. Hopefully that was fun watching as well. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below. If this helped you, please click on that subscribe button. We have a lot of PPF and colored vinyl and all these different types of content coming in the next few weeks. So stay tuned and stay protected. Let's go.